All right, let's take off as usual with a look at the headlines this morning. And of course, our guest in the studio is a lecturer from the University of Lagos, Dr. Dana Kere. Good morning, and it's good to see you.
Thank you. Good morning. It's a pleasure
very urgent situations on the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers. It's like since the beginning of this year, it's been a harvest of death everywhere, including, of course, the Herdsmen issue. The Punch reports, it says, Herdsmen destroy ex-naval chief's farms. Taraba rejects cattle colony. 4 more killed in Benue, says Otom, and Senate to hold summit on killings next week.
It's really alarming, and I think it is really, frustrating. It's thriving because it hasn't been dealt with decisively. I think this is one issue that really calls for the president's, urgent attention. Not the way and manner it has been handled over time. Sometimes some being described as communal clashes and or what have you, whereas you have a group, a gang of criminals, invading communities, terrorizing lives, destroying, farms and the rest of it,
one-sided killing,
and thereby even reducing destroying that drive of, food sustainability,
so, food security.
It's food security, so
for the country.
Yeah, and so far, really, the way the presidency has handled this matter has really left much to be desired. I think maybe because the president is a Fulani man, I don't know. Maybe because he equally has cattle, I don't understand. And there has been a lot of arguments as to the cattle rearers have not been, government has not been fair to them. Look, is it government that has been giving farmlands to farmers? Is cattle rearing not agricultural
private
business?
venture?
Is it not private? Is it a Nigeria business now? Is it? I don't think. Is it a question of everybody even eats cow? Not everybody eats cow meat.
We are vegetarians.
Some are already saying, look, it's about time. It's time for us to actually boycott.
We need to address this like a private business, for God's sake. So I think the president really needs to step up his action.
Yes, indeed. Well, the House of Reps resumed from holiday and, of course, made a total submission that the president has not had or displayed the political will to deal with this. All right, still with the Punch, Customs shoot man to death in Lagos, injure 3.
What for?
Well, very good question. We'll have to wait to get answers to that one. Ohaneze youths ask herdsmen to leave Southeast. And the EFCC arraigns Justice Yunusa for alleged corruption. And policeman, wife, daughter, relation die in Adamawa fire. Bad development.
All right, so we'll go to the Nation newspaper. Yes, unexpectedly, the killing at Abulegba is the major story here with some of the pictures. The suspicion is that a bus driver was smuggling rice and he was chased from Songwater to the Abulegba axis before a passenger was killed and 2 others were injured in the process. Wow. And there were lots of crowds there. Okay, so yeah, the one with the major text, how IM got 575 million naira for special service by EFCC. Ex-SGF, I took no cash from Dasuki. Now, the story is that he got that amount for special services.
What services did he render? He was the secretary
and
of
he's not the
Government
Minister of
Federation.
Special Duties.
I mean, the secretary of Government of the Federation.
Dr. Dana Kere, you're left asking too many questions this morning. It's our job to do.
Yes, it's shocking, really, to say that I did not receive cash. Okay, maybe check or direct transfer,
it is.
whichever, or in kind. I mean, what services did he render to Dasuki as the Secretary of Government of the Federation and Dasuki as the National Security Advisor? I don't know if there is any private service that should...
Well, he's denying it, that he never got any amount of such a...
But it's not even for EFCC to, to make noise about it. All you need to do is put your house in order.
Yes.
Do thorough investigation. Arraign the man before, the competent court. And let him be tried. So if he's found
the question
guilty,
again is this Dasuki money, is it $2-point-something billion?
Yeah, it's $2 billion.
It almost seems endless.
It's $2
because
billion.
everybody that's been alleged to have taken some money somehow is linked to Dasuki Gate.
And so many of them have refunded. And Dasuki has been granted bail
over and over again,
different courts
without
the government I think that's part of the weakness of this government. It's not law abiding. And when a government is not law abiding, I don't think it expects the citizens to be law abiding. They should obey court rulings. Dasuki is a human being. He's not a spirit. Wherever he runs in the world, he can always be, arrested.
At least charge him to court properly.
Yes, the thing is already in court. The man is being tried, and the court is saying, grant him bail. Let him have his freedom.
That's why he charged the government to court for him to be released, if not found guilty.
It's really bad. It's bad enough. I think government should learn from culture. And the culture of obeying law is critical to survival of any government.
Well, maybe the question we really need to ask, is this really about fighting corruption? Or is there more?
No, surely it's not.
Nigerians have tracked,
it's not. If it's about fighting corruption, then you let the court to take its normal process, let the law take its process, due course. Then you would have focused on the civil service, which is the heart of the corruption itself. Corruption is not all about politicians. So but sometimes we try to present it as if only politicians are corrupt. And the corruption of politicians is as a result of the corrupt citizenry.
Flouting court orders, does that amount to corruption?
It's corruption. It's
all right, so we'll move on to another story. Avengers threaten to blow up oil facilities soon.
There we go again.
I was even expecting that they would have, done that long ago. Because,
why?
You remember when the president was sick? The vice president who acted went around the area, brokered, some form of, and with conditions. And up to this moment, I don't think those conditions have been met. We can't rule by propaganda. We can't rule by lying. Right? When you make promises, you keep to them. And should you have any reason to maybe default on that, you should explain to the people. Go back to the people, tell them, it's unfortunate, this was the strategy, this was the plan, but as it appears at the moment, it seems this thing will be...
challenges.
I mean, you tell the people.
All right, the Daily Sun is reporting herdsmen, bombers kill 16 in Benue and Borno, 2 policemen killed, 2 Canadians abducted in Kaduna.
Wow.
These are foreigners, and we keep expecting foreigners to buy into the Nigerian project. I wonder what kind of message this sends out. And we can't even forget the fact that our policemen are security operatives that we put in the line of fire. Many of them actually end up losing their lives.
Which is the case in question now. The security attaches were killed and the men abducted. And it seems that, I really don't know the situation of that road, but over time we'll be hearing of kidnapping cases on that road. And I expect that there should have been a more fortified team of security
do we have enough personnel?
But I want to believe that the police will be able to do something about this. And we don't have enough. Many of the policemen you have are attached to individuals. And maybe banks and some corporate bodies. The citizenry are the ones who are actually left in the hands of these criminals. But I think the police will step up his game on this one and see how they can be rescued. Yes,
indeed. Well, subsidy. National Assembly probes 1.084 trillion naira illegal fuel subsidy. Rep summon Kachiku Baru, PPPRA boss. So subsidy is this word that just refuses to die.
How can it die?
After the president and vice president told Nigerians that they were no longer paying subsidy.
Yeah, it's possible, maybe based on what the president was actually told, the briefing he got from the Ministry of Petroleum Resources or whatever. Perhaps the presentation that was made to him was that we can do without subsidy, and at the moment we are not subsidizing anything. There's nothing like subsidy. Maybe that was the briefing he got. But I understand that the president is actually the substantive minister of petroleum.
Yes, he is.
So he should know better than even the minister of state, which is Ibe Kachuku. No, and if we go by that logic, it shows that they all lied to Nigerians.
Indeed.
Because they were very much aware of this from day one. They knew how much the landing cost was. Was it less than the amount? So they've been paying subsidies. So this argument as to NNPC is the one paying subsidies.
According to marketers, somewhere around 178, 171 naira there.
And they keep telling us that this subsidy is a scam.
Yeah, why was NNPC even paying subsidy?
And who authorized NNPC
exactly.
to pay subsidy?
And
was any such was the subsidy appropriated?
From which purse?
Who's paying for it?
TSA is being maintained. So from which purse?
So if truly yes, but it seems like some of these agencies have some other accounts. Otherwise, if it is from the TSA, then the president should be held accountable for subsidy.
So many questions.
All right. We still have one more paper, the Vanguard.
The Vanguard. Southern Middle Belt leaders visit Benue, insist on restructuring, declare Benue grazing law panacea to herdsmen killings. Niger Delta militants demand restructuring, threaten fresh attacks. 16 governors agree to provide cattle colonies. Herdsmen, don't turn Ekiti to war zone. Fayose warns. So many issues.
I'm telling you, this cattle thing, because sometimes you hear this argument that cattle, people have been involved in cattle rustling, the government is not doing this, and you find the herdsmen even complaining about that, as if the rustlers are people from this side. They are the same people. It's cattle rearers who are engaged in cattle rustling. So it is still within them. It's not enough for them to evade every community.
Of course, the question that the senators have been asking is, you know, in fact, a statement that they've been making is that foreigners or foreign militias have actually infiltrated Nigeria.
I don't really want to bother about whether they are foreigners or not. At least they walk past places with these arms well brandished, and the security operatives are seeing them. At least you've captured so many of them on television. Are we saying that it was just only the cameraman that saw these people? That they don't ever come across the policemen? They don't see them with these weapons? Are they licensed to carry these weapons?
Borders are porous. We know that.
No, this one is not even about borders. They are already inside town, not borders now. While in town, don't they see them with the weapons?
Our policemen
because they don't hide them.
Well armed.
They don't hide them.
That's another issue, really. Yes, no, before we go to that
So it's the question on the police are afraid of maybe their arms, maybe.
At last, reps pass PIGB, looking for a better oil sector in the country and well managed.
The petroleum industry
this governance bill. Yeah, but well, so far, the bill has become too controversial that we don't even know what it represents at the moment. So until we get to know the details, it will not be uhuru. It will not be something to celebrate yet. We need to understand. I'm not sure it was passed the way it was presented. There has been other things added, and now it has gone into governance.
That was why I went from PIGB to PIGB.
So until we get to know the details, I think it will be too early to celebrate.
Okay, so why power outage persists? And of course, yes, we've been experiencing that.
No, there's no explanation for that one. It has always been. So let nobody try to...
We're used to it.
It's a normal condition.
Well, maybe we should give BRF, you know, the minister.
You see, don't forget that the man is an orator. So he can give you all manner of justifications. The bottom line is that until there is light, that ministry is not functional.
Okay. So then appeal court orders terminal operators to pay 3 trillion naira illegal port charges.
Wow. Illegal port charges. Up to
3 trillion.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
But where is
That's
this money?
half of the national budget.
So where's the money? Where's the money? Where did it go into?
Must be in some pocket.
Can you imagine?
We're still talking about 44
is this TSA really working to start with? Because did this money go into TSA or where? So
it means it seems that a lot of funds are not even going to TSA.
That is the
government organizations are having separate accounts.
If an NPC can pay subsidy without the government knowing, without government feeling it, it shows that there is another account for that, with which NPC operates, and meanwhile it's supposed to be a national, is it a national petroleum corporation? So how come it is paying subsidy without government? And some people are now charging monies running into trillions, and government is not aware.
All right. I know you like Mr. and Mrs.
Yes, I have gone through this Mr. and Mrs. and it's not something I want to read out on television, on, you know.
You're avoiding it
Yes,
today.
I'm avoiding it. If you're interested in finding out what the details are, please pick up the Vanguard. That's simple as that.
Yeah.
Well, I think we really need to, you know, engage government the more, so that the government, maybe sometimes they believe that all the lies they tell us, we don't even know what is happening.
You know what the problem is? We have really not been able to define for ourselves what exactly we mean when we say government.
Well, that is correct.
Who is the government?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And you know, government is in continuum, but administrations change per time. So we'll still hold you as we wrap up the newspaper review. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, to be time for our first discussion. We're looking at the alarming rate of clashes, especially between herdsmen and farmers.
And the politics of it.
Indeed.